Just answering specific question with WAPTech. Not really. This is going to be based on the title of the video, so here we go. Mr. Papers Braille Key Witness, John Beilman, Steven Paddock's email address associated, and the device, which this is really about because people decided to play a game of telephone with their memes, the L9215. And then a long string of characters, if I can get into the title, for the channel name, which was only archived a little bit. Nobody bothered archiving much of it. Okay, here we go. A 4chan hoaxer claimed, I have access to Steven Paddock's brother's email, PIC-related email address, or emails, which gave me access to Steven Paddock's email address, which I cannot get into yet. But this YouTube account is associated with that email address he used to correspond with his brother. Citation? No, there isn't any. That's the end of the video. This is an assertion. This is a 4chan fake story, because all of them are 4chan fake stories. Why? And yeah, it was under the Donald or politically incorrect or whatever. Those are code words for reality and facts are irrelevant. Just hold still and let it happen to your mind. Reality. FBI agents searched the Fairport home of a man named John Beilman just before he decided to kill his severely disabled daughter and himself. That's it. He was under investigation, decided to kill himself, and decided to kill his daughter for whatever reasons. Maybe wanting to take it to the grave. I don't know. I'll post a follow-up below if I can find it. The main thing is the Short to Fall, What Does It Mean, and other websites decide to use a tragic event that was trending and then piggyback another story on it for their conspiracy theories. And it could have been any damn conspiracy theory. Now, what was this about? Okay, here goes. You can look it up on the Snopes.com if you want to, and that might be useful. But here we go. The meme is based on the following lie: that Steven Paddock had a extra cell phone charger, and because of that, it must mean some mysterious piece of equipment was erased, redacted, gotten rid of, because it's evidence against the cover-up, or evidence for a cover-up, excuse me. Because that's the presumption you make when, right? It doesn't support your meme, it doesn't have anything to do with it. You just look for any, it's a God of the gaps argument. We'll look for anything inconsistent and use that as an excuse. See, it's a cover-up. They did actually find the piece of equipment that was missing. It wasn't missing, it was just another location. And how many of you own a cell phone charger and don't have the cell phone anymore because you lost the cell phone charger, for instance, somewhere in your house and then found it later and just didn't bother throwing the thing away? And how many of you are going to be very dishonest, or even better, get paranoid about that and tell everybody, don't tell anybody I have these extra chargers. Charger may be good, but the cell phone died, that sort of thing, or the other way around. How many of you have lost a cell phone charger? So where did it end up? How many of you lost your phone, still have the charger? Yeah, come on. How many of you just bought extra chargers? But anyway, the next lie was the cell phone charger was for a special battery, and the person who made this lie up, it's a different lie, said Paddock had a charger that would only charge a military-grade battery because the battery was non-rechargeable. No, I'm not simplifying it. That literally was stated in the original posting, that it was a non-rechargeable battery that this charger went to. The person who made up that fake story was trying to see how many idiots would repost it. And the thing is, you could literally post a very obvious Photoshop image of Steven Paddock being a cross-dresser. Someone will want it to be true and repost it, no matter how stupid it sounds or unrelated the pic is, because they don't give a shit about facts. Non-rechargeable battery doesn't use a battery charger. Yes, on the previous channel I got complaints that I needed to open my mind and realize that you could have a recharger for a non-rechargeable battery. There is such a thing, but it's for alkaline batteries. And the assertion was this was a special military battery charger only. The actual statement was it was just a cell phone charger. They just didn't know where the cell phone it went to was, and then they found it later. That's it. But someone made up a lie about it being for a very specific battery, and it's apparently called the L9215 or some other thing. And a previous video I had on a previous channel, it just flat out said, well, here's the picture of the battery, and it's not rechargeable. It says that. And again, people said, I don't care that it's not rechargeable. It had to have a recharger because I want this to, I need it. That's where the story comes from. John Beilman didn't invent something that was found at the Las Vegas shooting. He's not associated with it, and he's not a key witness of any kind. Next, any invention that a person has and work that they've done, unless it's the only person who worked on that project, which he isn't, somebody else could give up the goods. Next, the patent, as I remember looking it up, was from a while back and has nothing to do with anything. And it's not even vaguely associated with government contractors. So someone, this is what someone did. They heard or read somewhere that at the Mandalay Bay they found a a charger and didn't know what it went to. So the person decided, I'm going to invent a story about it being associated with something associated with the government. So I'm going to say it's a government contractor, a special battery, and for funsies, I'm going to say it's a actually tell everybody it's a non-rechargeable battery, so see if they can get that I'm lying. And then he made the story. And then when it fell through, when it was debunked, people kept persisting at it. Now I'm going to point out something really obvious here. Why would something as obvious as non-rechargeable battery recharger not set off someone's alarm bells? It did. Everybody reasonable and rational said this is bullshit. It doesn't matter. If you combine it with any current story, as long as you somehow find a way to relate it back to Steven Paddock, you will get page views. And at that day that this was posted, John Beilman died. And they kept using the word, it's a wire. No, it's not a wire, it was a recharger. The word wire became literally one of the key words, which is very strange because people kept using it. It's search engine optimization. This is sales. If you put in John Beilman and the word wire, you will find this story almost exclusively. If he had strangled his daughter with a hunk of wiring instead of some other method, then they wouldn't have used the word because you would have been misdirected to factual stories about what happened. They use the individual words like this to separate things, like look for an obscure battery. Put that in. People won't notice that it's being debunked. So when I posted a video, including all the keywords you're seeing and many more in a video before about this, it got hate mail and death threats because I pointed out the obvious. It's a non-rechargeable battery. There was never a claim of that particular piece of equipment being missing. They found the battery and the phone or whatever the equipment was that charger went to. It was never called a wire by anybody I know of. I mean, you can point out where it was, other than to use this as a way to separate it from actual news. And Search a Fall and other websites reposted the story, as false as it is, knowing full well they were cutting and pasting a 4chan meme that said non-rechargeable battery because it fed people's desperate desire to have a conspiracy theory involving the government. This is just as bad as a person finding out that their computer's battery has died after being 6 years old and deciding the government damaged it because they're a targeted individual. It's the same mentality. It has to be blamed on Obama and Hillary, even if they're literally not in charge of anything. No matter what, I mean, literally, Trump made a historical landmark decision today, but we don't like it, so let's blame it on Hillary and Obama. The mindset doesn't change based on facts. And more importantly, beyond that kind of crazy, beyond crazy is search engine optimization and salesmanship. I don't care that this is completely nonsensical. Somebody's going to click my page instead of the news. And then they force it to trend on Twitter or Facebook or whatever by resharing it through thousands of backup channels and whatever. And you notice it gets immediately rebleeded, parroted by all sorts of channels. I won't name Paul Bagley and a bunch of other people. They just repost it. I don't know if this is true. They get paid. They're shills. This is literally a shill behavior. It never had any merit. And as for 4chan hoaxer claiming he had access to the emails first, okay, if you can get into an email, you can send the email to another email account and archive it, or collect the raw headers and make it to where you can cut and paste the whole thing and confirm whether or not that was really from the server. Because all the server does when you send it the hash and everything is confirm that you have a copy of something that was really from their server. None of these sleuths did any of this because they can't. They're lying. Anyway, next. It's an old 4chan post that's regaining steam about an email of Paddock's being related to a YouTube channel named Mr. Paper. The Mr. Paper page is somebody playing with braille or something. It has nothing to do with them, which is a weird channel with videos and braille messages. Yes, I know. And none of them tried to decode the braille message just to see if Paddock's name was in it. Everybody suddenly doesn't want to do research if it isn't going to back up what they say. Oh, I looked into it, I found nothing. No, you looked into it and you found out that it has nothing to do with what you were talking about. You don't want to detract from the message. Anyway, the guy posting is thank you. That was a very good thing to look up. I didn't know it'd been redone that way. Also, if anybody wants to decode the braille, that's great. It's not supposed to be on YouTube videos. Braille on video. Can you feel my face? Odds are that's all there is to it. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that.